Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade. I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 117. Today is Sunday, January 10th, 2016, and I'm glad you could join me today. It'll be probably quick today. So, threading the needle between my different activities. So, first things first. I wanted to finish something, but I failed, so whatever. We'll just rejigger slightly. Up. Apparently things aren't in easy reach today, so one of the things that got a little bit of love this week was the Alien Shawl by Elizabeth Freeman. I am knitting it in Miss Babs Catadin in the Bairdsville colorway. And I am not to the border yet. This didn't get as much love as I thought it was going to get, so I managed to do another repeat yesterday, and that was about all the love it got. Well, not even a repeat, a set of rows, so that is coming along. So I still have probably 3 more sets to go before I'm done with that chart and all of the ridiculous noops. So that is coming along, and still a whole lot of yarn left, so that's good. The other thing is I ended up finishing the back of the mold cider. So this is a Thea Coleman pattern that I'm knitting out of the chocolate Shetland fleece, and it is quite big, but I think it's quite possible that it's also a bit small. So that's been my puzzle for the past few days, is trying to figure out the right way to handle the it might be too small a problem. What I ended up doing was I cast on for the boring front, which I believe is the right front, this week, and I ended up casting on for the next stitch count above where I was, because I didn't, I find it doubtful that, what is it? It looks like some stitches fell off, so that's not awkward. So I found it doubtful that, it was going to fit quite right, because I was taking measurements and they were matching my measurements instead of having positive ease, and this is a jacket and needs to have positive ease, so that is an important aspect of jackets. And because of the fact that you have to have multiples of 4 for the ribbing to work out, or multiples of 4 plus 2, that meant that in order for everything to look right and whatever else, the next size up had the same number of stitches as far as I could tell, and maybe it was a slightly different bind off, and then this size was 4 stitches more than that, so I figured that was going to be the best plan of attack. I think I remember why I was awkwardly in the middle of the row, because I ended up selecting buttons for this guy, and really, when I say buttons, I really mean toggles. I went to the ridiculous specialty button store, and I was about ready to select some buttons, and then one of the people came by and was like, hey, we actually have foreign buttons. So then after playing around with it a little bit, I decided that was probably going to be the best choice for this sweater and all of its ridiculousness. So that's what I ended up going with, and I'm just going to finish this row so I can put it down a little bit more safely. So let me show you the buttons. So I got these from Benno's Buttons, which is a really cool shop in Dallas. And these are the buttons I ended up getting. So I needed 3, and so I picked some that were that right amount. What was it? So I think I picked a couple that were the right amount of variegated. So they're all a little bit different, but that's what makes them cool. And they don't, contrast a whole lot with the sweater, but I think they're proportioned appropriately. I don't know if you guys can even see that. So I was excited to get those, and they were actually pretty reasonably priced, all things considered, for, so I think it was like $12 in tax for them, and that's not bad at all. Considering some of the ones that I was looking at were even like $7 a piece, and that just seemed like a lot. So it's coming along. It's definitely gotten the most love, I think, of any of the knitting projects this week. Okay. And I'm still in, I believe, the 5th and 6th ball of yarn. I suppose I could count the opposite way and see if I have 10 skeins left, but shouldn't be a big deal. Alright. And then the thing that is probably the case where you end up having recovery, so I was getting ready to start a chart and came to the realization that I had misread the chart, and then ripped out the entire sock, and then started to set up the chart again, and then realized I had in fact been correct and it was fine, which is sort of annoying. But at knitting I managed to get myself back to the point at which I had left off, and then a little bit past it. So this is Yamana Reynolds pattern. It's called Everdeen Socks, and I'm knitting it out of Dragonfly fibers, and 100% merino sock yarn. So I'm knitting these on my 00s because I wanted a bulletproof gauge, and we'll find out if it looks like it's going to be fine size-wise. Sometimes it's hard to tell so early in a sock whether or not it's actually going to fit right, but this looks to be good. And it has this cool cable pattern, which I'm excited to knit. So it effectively looks like a braid, so that was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice idea. And it's coming along. But I need to do some surgery on my needles because the basically the little tips are coming off, so I don't know if you guys can see how I've pulled that one out, but so I think I need to just glue them back in again so they stay put. But it seems like initially it just seemed like one of them was funny, but I think 2 of them are funny right now. Maybe not. Maybe it's just this one that's no good. And since it's not in the sock right now, that's probably a good candidate for fixing it now. But, yeah, it's a little bit annoying to have it come loose, so I'll have to take care of that at some point in order to keep going, because I had to stop because I was just annoyed with how it was trying to pull out, and yeah. Those are my carbons needles, by the way, and that's actually on this side. On the spinning front, I ended up making some pretty good progress. So I have less of these balls now. Let's see, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 balls left to spin. I don't remember how many balls I started off with. And, oh, it looks like I actually have 10 balls left to spin. And then here is how far I am. So I'm managing to build up the cop a lot taller this time around, which is pretty cool. And get everything sort of pretty looking. And right now I'm just sort of going end to end. So if I end on a light color, then I start with a light color and do that. So I managed to get a decent amount done on this week. Like a couple of balls were spun, and then I ended up pulling out the next one that I wanted to do, which is going to end in a dark, which should be pretty. So that is my Hello Yarn Falkland in the pigment colorway, and it is my longest going project, so I need some more. So I wanted to finish plying all of my white Shetland fleece, but sort of ran out of time. So I ended up coming to a good stopping point. So this is my 4-ounce bobbin here, and this is one of my 2.9-ounce bobbins, and I ended up using up all of this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind the big guy into a center pull cake, and then continue doing 3-ply until I run out of this one, and then I'll just Navajo ply onto the end. But I think I got a good couple of ounces done today for plying, so actually it'll be a little bit easier just off. So this is my jumbo bobbin, and there's probably a good 8 ounces on this guy, so which probably means there's about 10 ounces left of the other. I haven't, I just honestly finished this, so I'll need to wind it off to get yardage. I'm trying to think about what weight it is. It seems to be like a sport weight, I think. So sport weight 3-ply is not too shabby, all things considered. And I was just letting it be whatever it wanted to be for the most part. Just getting a handle on what it's like to spin my own hand comb top, so that was cool. And I ended up finishing combing the rest of the mystery fiber, so I have about 12 ounces, a little bit over, I think it was 12.1 ounces of these balls, which means that I'm probably going to do a similar thing with this, with that set of stuff. So it's going to be, I'll fill up my bobbins with singles and then ply everything together as a 3-ply, I think. I think that'll end up being pretty. Not really sure what I'm going to use the yarn for. It isn't one of my normal colors, but we'll figure something out. Since combing it ended up blending it together so well, it's definitely probably more on my end, so it's sort of a reddish brown russety sort of color, and I think that's probably more my color than it definitely had a lot of orange in it, but I think I ended up combing out most of the orange since it was really short. For however in the world that fiber was sparked. I don't know how it was sparked. It was weird. So I think that is everything for this week. I'm hosting the, what is it, the Sock Knitters Resolution Cal over in the Sock Knitters group. So if you have any sock knitting resolutions and want to be working on them in January and February, please feel free to hop over there. I will probably be starting a Completely Twisted and Arbitrary Spin the Bin Spin fairly soon. I just need to sit down and play with the colors a little bit to figure out what I want to do, but I'm going to be spinning a 2-ply lace weight for my Hit a Few Day. So I just need to figure out how I'm going to make that work. And hopefully I'll get a chance to play with those things tonight, finish the plying and all that other fun stuff. Excuse me. I think I should be able to record next week on the 17th, so should be good for that. So with that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.